Yeah. Well, been 2 years since Talking Pointless went off the air. This here's the series finale, done 2 years later. Attempt to catch you up on all the shenanigans on Talking Pointless. Although, yeah, it's been a roller coaster ride for years. We covered apparently the 2016 election. We covered the Channel Awesome scandal. We covered religious debates and creationist debates and atheist debates. We covered cancel culture in its beginnings, but not later on. We stopped with cancel culture, actually. Yeah, we even covered Bill O'Reilly getting fired, because Talking Pointless was a parody of Bill O'Reilly's Talking Points. We're spoofing it, so it's 2 years ago. It's kind of silly we're still doing that, so we decided not to do that. So this is technically the 48th episode, because the other 3 that are in the queue are not Talking Pointless episodes. They just reference other episodes that are happening. This is officially the finale. Yeah, so in terms of the Fox News updates, well, it seemed Tucker Carlson took over for Bill O'Reilly. He got fired too, for being an asshole. Well, he is. Since then, there's been a lot of election fraud cases, and there's been a coronavirus. We covered that too. But the unknown virus of unknown origin, yeah, we already covered that. Yeah, there was a bunch of other things that was going down. Yeah, so that's what we're doing over there. This is so. Yeah. There was a Capitol riot, and there was the ex-president started, and then he claimed it was election fraud. It wasn't, and Dominion and Smartmatic sued the Fox News for almost $1 billion. Well, Dominion settled, but Smartmatic's still there, and they haven't settled them yet. The Supreme Court's being assholes, because in the Supreme Court they got rid of Roe v. Wade, and we'll sort of put it off to the states, and then they got rid of the student loan debt just recently, and they got rid of the debt payment. They were going to pay off the debt, and the Supreme Court said, no, we're not paying off student loan debt. And then they got rid of affirmative action in colleges, essentially killing what was called critical race theory in colleges. It was not in regular schools, it was just in colleges. That's messed up. So they want to go back to the 1960s, where everybody was like, oh, and that's their fascist way of going back there. So that's all the politics stuff right there, in a nutshell. Republicans want to go back to a pseudo-fascist state when the only people that were created equal were the white folk, because they're evil. They literally need to be kicked out of office. So vote blue in 2024, because yeah, more they protest, more we get. I mean, this new DeSantis fellow in Florida, he's a dunderhead, a dundermuffin. I've seen that kind of thing before. Might be thinking, okay, my character's kind of from Texas or Oklahoma or something. You think he'd be liking guns and Republicans and stuff. But nope, Cowpoke ain't. Nope, he's the peculiar sort. No, I likes everybody of every color, and sometimes every gender. I'm equal opportunity screw. I'll do it all. Yee-hoo! 'Cause I poked the cows. So yeah. Well, maybe not really, not a cow, but yeah. Poke the cows. That'd be funny. Anyway, so yeah. Talking pointless. Pointless talking. Yeah. So the Supreme Court's all smucked up from having all them conservative right-wing assholes in it. And they got to get that Biden fella. It's kind of slow on the uptake. They got to get him in there, and he gotta put in some liberal judges to throw it off. Needs at least 2 more in there. You know, and Cowpoke's stance on the Roe Wade thing is, they should just let women decide what women need to do with themselves. Yeah, that would solve everything. Why are old men, old rich men, deciding on what women should do with their bodies? Or gender, for that matter. Now, why are old men doing that? Why are they letting old men do that? That's why they lost the midterms in 2022. Because 50% of the country's women vote, and they're like, you know what? We're going to vote. We're going to vote these dunderheads out. These dingleberry whooper-chickers. Now, making up phony story words because they don't want YouTube algorithm to screw with me. They won't know what a dunderhead is. They'll be all like, what's that? What's a dunderhead? I ain't never heard that one. Yeah, if you're from Folktown, though. Windy Brook Hollows and all that. Yee-hoo! Of course, if you're from Folktown, you probably do it with cows. If you're from Windy Brook Hollows, you probably do it with horses. And I take it that the fellow up in Washington back in the day, Windy Brook Hollows is probably in Washington. Okay, yeah, okay. So we're out here on the back lot. And I'll add a little more to the story on the back lot there. That thing's making funny noises. Yeah, it'll add to the guerrilla filmmaking that this here talking pointless is. I would say more about the unspecified virus of unknown origins. However, I think the YouTubes would flag it if I even mentioned vaccine and pandemic and that kind of thing. They'll flag it and it'll be like, no, you can't talk about that. Oh. Suffice just to say, the hyper-conservative, and they are hyper-conservative randos about that, it's all based on some lie earlier. The anti-vaxxer people are from, all based on this actress lady years ago who decided children and Nazism was related even though it wasn't. They weren't her kids. And they weren't autistic. And then convinced a bunch of people to not get their kids vaccinated, and there were like 3 or 4 different outbreaks of measles and mumps in the United States because people were stupid. So then this virus starts. Virus of unknown origin. And that was for 3.5 years. There was a pandemic thing. They were in the quarantine and all that. We did a thing on special on the first 8 weeks of it, and then stopped. But yeah, so all the Republicans and right-wingers on the bandwagon and all that, they didn't bring it up during the midterms in 2022. They just didn't bother. I guess because, yeah, I guess they figured, well, that would be a little too much, a little too obvious. Some TV shows did do a thing on an unspecified virus or more zombies or something like that, or weirdness or whatever, vaccine bad guys or whatever. But and all Transformers Mush did a unspecified space virus that was going on, and Strange Worlds did a space plague as well, because it was going on at the time. So sure, why not? So we were 2 of the first ones to do mainstream things, sort of saying it in the background, but as a spoof, as a too soon spoof, over on the channel, but not specifying what the space virus was. Oh yeah, so I have a lot of right-wingers going on about stuff like long COVID and stuff like that, and they got it wrong. The long COVID is usually, it was not people that were vaccinated. People that got the long COVID were not vaccinated. They got it even worse. And you figure it killed it. It didn't go after just the Republicans let it go because they figured it would take out the Democrats. And it had exactly the opposite effect because all anti-vaxxer people. The opposite effect. More Republicans died because they said, "Oh, don't Don't vaccinate. Yeah, don't do it. Oh, we're not going to do that. And we're not going to vote either. Oh, because it's all rigged. We're going to do that too. We're not going to vote. We're going to get all rigged. Those two factors kind of messed up their chances in the midterms, and will mess it up in 2024 as well. Because, yeah, they decided not to vote because they figured it was rigged. That was another thing they did. And more Republicans died from the unspecified virus than Democrats. A lot more. Millions more. The other ones got the vaccine and they're fine. Yeah. They didn't want to remind them of that. And also, to clarify the vote 2022 was, a lot of women went to vote. To clarify. Yeah. Because it sounded like I said the opposite. No, they went to vote, and they voted against the conservatives. Cause yeah, and it didn't mean the same thing years ago. Like Reagan here, Cowpoke. Back in the day, it meant something else. So yeah, it meant something else. Yeah, back in the day, it was reversed. In the late 80s, early 90s, the party of family values was the Democrats. And fiscal responsibility was the Democrats. And Reagan and then Bush the elder took it and used it for themselves. After Clinton used it. Family values, that was Clinton. Clinton. They keep villainizing Clinton, but Clinton thought of it. It was Clinton. They don't remember, but it was Clinton. What? Yeah, family. That was related to his scandal with a lady that interned. Family values, they were joking about that. Yeah, they haven't done an intern. Also, to clarify the other thing about the other thing, the anti-voters, the whole reason for the Capitol riot, the whole reason for that other stuff, was because Trump told his sycophants to lie and say the election was stolen when it wasn't. It wasn't stolen. I'm one fair and square in all them states, and 60 court cases have said no, there was no fraud. The only cases of fraud they found were about half a dozen, and they were all Republicans trying to vote twice and vote in their dead cousins. Yeah, so that's that, and it'll probably flag the algorithm too, talking about that, and so yeah, so yeah, back a lot, and so that's the other thing. So there's all your talking pointless. This is a political show. Yeah, so and then the libertarian relatives pull out the, oh, this Kennedy guy, or this other Rand guy, and this other guy, they're really cool and everything. Turns out they're crazy as a bed bug. Them, the Kennedy feller, he's a disgrace to the Kennedy name. They should disown him. Also, the Republicans were trying to get rid of Social Security several times. Yeah, they proved some of that in court just now with the student loan debt forgiveness. It was a student loan debt forgiveness thing put on the House and the Senate, went to the Supreme Court. The student loan debt forgiveness wasn't for the rich, it was for the middle class. The student loan debt during the pandemic. They were going to forgive their 3 years that they were during the pandemic. That's what. They didn't want to do that. The Supreme Court said no. Because they're dicks. Right? Dinger mufflers. Dinger mufflers. So that's to clarify that. Yeah. So this is the final episode. This is all she wrote, I guess. I mean, there'd probably be other shows that are similar, but the politics thing got really heated during these Trump years, and we didn't want to cover it. We just covered when he lost. Fire. Yeah, we didn't want to cover the midterms either. Yeah. Covered the unspecified plague. Even the Jon Stewart, the comedian, said Wuhan lab thing. But even he did that. Yeah. But no, nobody created it. It was just somebody infected came out of there and ate some monkey they shouldn't have. Then somebody else ate some of that monkey. Then they went back, I jackass. They ate a bat, and somebody ate a monkey. And I shouldn't have ate that monkey because it had some of it in it. It crossed species. So it wasn't created. It was from an animal. Animal. You shouldn't eat the brains from the animal. That was a bad idea. Well, on that other thing about the Channel Awesome thing, well, that just ended with them eventually, officially apologizing. And so that ended with that. We went over how that ended. I'd like to connect all the dots here and make sure everything goes back together in a finale kind of sort of thing. Make sure that's all yeah. Also, Dove-tastic, he never came back. I think he's got a couple other channels other than on YouTube. You can find him. Yeah. I don't know if he liked Enthron and Enthron 2.0 or not. I don't know what happened to him, but they definitely were inspired by something like him. Not him specifically. Yeah. Anyway, so well, he doesn't really do that. Anyway, so yeah, so here it is. Okay, they wanted to get rid of that. They wanted to get rid of drag king shows in Florida. They wanted to get rid of, say, gay in Florida because DeSantis is an idiot. DeSantis is DeSatanist. And what's funny is he tried to go to Iowa recently to run in Iowa, campaigning, and he couldn't get anybody to support him because they're not in Florida. They're not Florida sycophants, so they're not. And you think you can pretty much get away with anything in Iowa because that's where they all go. You know? So it's like, nope. Even in Iowa, they were like, no, we don't want you. So in desperation, his super PAC basically paid for his appearance. So they actually lost money because they paid for their own appearance. That's probably technically embezzlement, which is funny. So if he's paying for his own way, he's kind of a doofus. Yeah, he's kind of a doofus. He's a dingwopper. He ain't gonna win nothing. The Biden, they're claiming the Biden crime family thing, which is ridiculous. They can't name anything that they did. But it is interesting that that Hunter Biden, he isn't in politics, so they're going after Hunter Biden about his laptop. They can't prove there was a laptop, nor can they find any witnesses to his alleged shindiggery. Nor can they find, they keep showing pictures of other laptops and things, but they can never find the actual laptop because it doesn't exist, and nor did the hard drive that they took out of it exist. There have been many channels that have explored that. And yeah, where is this supposed FBI dude that showed up on the Fox News? Well, you know what it is he was pretending, and the FBI probably called him up and said, you can't do that. That's pretending to be an agent, you're gonna get busted. Go to prison, so stop that. So yeah, they had to stop that. That guy was not in the FBI. He was not a spy. He was making it up. So he didn't know anything about this laptop drive that's copied off of a copy of something. So it's like a bunch of bullshit. You know, talking pointless is about bullshit. They're dropped to that bomb, but I think you can say that. That's fine. So yeah, there's no Hunter Biden laptop. If you've seen pictures of a melted laptop, it's something else that Fox churned up. They don't have anything. A half-blind repairman in Delaware. Originally, the story was actually a half-blind guy in Burisma, in like fucking Ukraine. Originally, that's where it was. It was Ukraine, not Delaware. Doesn't make any sense. So they're just making stuff up. And then there was the Ukraine war after that, but that's a coincidence. And Trump is been indicted twice now so far as ex-president, which delights. And currently, he's in the who's gal for something else. What is it? He's in the who's gal for? He's in the who's gal for. He's not in the who's gal yet. Oh, it's what was he doing this time? I think it was to do something with. He was doing something. What's up? Well, they did the sexual assault case. The Jean Carroll, the author, and she hasn't gotten her millions of dollars from him yet because he wants to like appeal or something. And then he keeps defaming her, so I guess he's going to get more. And then there's this other one. I think this other one is the documents case. But unfortunately, with this one, the judge should recuse herself because she's a Trump loyalist. So she should leave. She should say, I can't do this case because there's a conflict of interest. But she ain't. So he might get away with the documents. But the rest of it, he ain't going to get away with. America's Cards thinks like, oh, he's going to... they're going to elect a Republican president like Pence or something, and he's going to like pardon him. But that doesn't mean he's not guilty. That just means the president pardoned. Nixon, when he was pardoned by Johnson, was still guilty, and he was still a laughingstock after that. So it'd be the same thing. He'd still be guilty. It's like they're not going to like him. Oh, you got pardoned. Yeah, but he pardoned a bunch of his whack job friends too. He turned on. So it's like, yeah, he's still guilty. He's still a little dunderhead too. He's crazy. So it's like, well, he's still guilty, so it's fine. Yeah, the other lady was saying, oh, the Fox people are a toxic environment that we work in over there at the Fox News. They're all mean to us, and what's his name is mean. I'm going to sue him for millions of dollars, but it's like you were tasteless enough to go work for Fox News. That's on you, right? That's on you. You were dumb enough and tasteless enough. You had no self-respect. You decided to go work for Fox News. Well, you can get your millions, but you went to work for Fox. Why would you do that? It's just same thing I can't figure out is why them black folk won't want to work in the Republican Party at all. After what they done now with the affirmative action stuff, they should all quit the Republican Party. Suppose the Mexicans, they should quit the Republican Party too. Why should they? Why would they even want to have anything to do with them? It's clear the Dixiecrats from the South took over the Republican Party and turned it into the fascist KKK party. Yay! Well, I want to see one of them KKK yahoos smack that dude. You don't do it that way. It ain't nice what doing that. For a hog time. Just like them Captain Riders with the rebel flag. You might say, oh, Cowpoke could probably like the rebel flag because Dukes of Hazzard. Dukes of Hazzard was a parody comedy show where they were spoofing that, but they don't seem to get that. So no, it would not be for the guy with the rebel flag. Be like, no, shit, no. I don't want that kind of stuff. I want affirmative action so Cowpoke can get lucky with whoever he wants to get lucky with. Yee-hoo! Might even be his cousin. Because, they should like that. Like, the way I figure it with the Roe v. Wade thing, too, it's like the more the Republican old men try to like ban women's rights, abortions and stuff, then they can't get rid of the mistress's kid. The mistress, they got a mistress, right? Those rich folk all got a mistress, and they got to get rid of their kid from the mistress. It's in there and they're bun in their oven. There's gonna be one with a bun in their oven. If they get rid of that, they can't get rid of it. What are they thinking? I don't know what they're thinking. They can't get rid of it then. Clearly, I'm only half kidding. Yee-hoo! Yeah, so we're going on about, what were we on about this time here? On about, Talking Pointless, the finale. So here we have, the other religious dogma in front of the church. We don't need to go over that because I think we pretty much covered that. There was a unnamed hyper-conservative person at the camp who was very misled about how that works and could not define the word woke. Could not define it. Said, oh, it's just the devil. But that's not an answer. You gotta give an actual answer. You can't just say evil did it. No. It's like, no, you say, okay, it's woke is affirmative action stuff. So here we are, talking pointless, saying that it's unusual that come to the, or I think just don't do that. And also recently, the televangelist that ruined it for pretty much everybody had died. Or something like that. He died, and we didn't care. Also, during the thing, Rush Limbaugh died, and we didn't care. That was a little before the thing. During, yeah. Really, oh, good. Oh, also, Alex Jones got in trouble, and he had to pay up $500 million to the Sandy Hook survivors. So, because that guy's a jerk off. You know, the funny thing about that feller is he ain't gonna pester the Talking Pointless show. Because we know where he come from. He ain't from Texas. That's right. We know. So he don't mess with us. He's like, I know. They know. They know where I came from. Oh. I ain't gonna say, but we know. Just say. I ain't gonna say where he's from. They know not to mess with Talking Pointless. They're not. Oh, don't go to this Calcat guy. Don't mess with him. He knows too much. So there we go. Let's just say he doesn't talk his talk or walk his walk. Make it all up. Yeah. So yeah, he's a poser. A lot of the evangelicals are posers. Like, do they really think that the Lord Jesus Christ said anything about the fees and trains? No, he didn't. He didn't say nothing about it. They looked that up. He didn't say nothing about it. He didn't mention it. This is an excuse for them to make fun of minorities and punch down and all that stuff like that. Like that fella on that fella from the Dave Chappelle show. Punching down. Or that J.K. Rowling lady. Yeah. Don't watch Harry Potter no more just because she's one of them thars now. You don't want her around. She don't like the trans people. Cowpoke don't mind them, no. Cowpoke's seen them on more than one occasion at the conventions, and nothing happened. No, nothing happened. One of them was even nervous when the Kirk character went into the bathroom, and there was one of them all dressed up like a lady, and it was a dude. And he was nervous because it was right at that time of the J.K. Rowling thing, and he was like, don't worry about it, dude. I don't care. You're at a convention. It's all, oh, thank goodness. He literally said that. Want to hear take a leak? You're going in here to take a leak. Because you got to take a leak. It's tough to get to the business there because you got to pull up the outfit. Yeah. Yeah. And then there was other convention people saying the costuming was the devil, of course. And we were all like, no, costuming is not the devil. In fact, it's biblical. Because if you look at the apostles at the Garden of Gethsemane, they all almost pretended like they weren't there, by hiding themselves. They was going in costume. There you go. It's biblical. And then they got the one guy. Peter denied him. The crow and all. And Peter denied him, but he wasn't in costume. The other ones were. Yeah. They caught him. He's like, I didn't see him. Yeah. I also give up on the bunny girl. Well, that's your problem. Also, to clarify the other earlier statement about the other lady, or assaults and stuff like that, or the lady being a lady at Fox. I wasn't saying the victim splaining. I was saying that don't work for Fox News, and it sucks that this lady was abused by Tucker Carlson. Wasn't saying she deserved it. I was saying that she was a fool to have worked there in the first place. That's not the same thing. It's like, don't put yourself in that situation. Yeah. She did not deserve it. No, nobody deserves to be yelled at, or bashed or whatever. Yeah, that Tucker Carlson boy here can't say that to me. It'd be kind of like that time he walked into the bait shop during the unspecified play, and a bait shop owner guy was like, "You need to get out of this here bait shop. I don't want your kind in here." Tucker Carlson's a poser too. He's one of the heirs to the Swanson TV dinner fortune. He's richer than a pig-licked dog now. Well, richer than a hunt dog. Yeah. So it's like, what? Yeah. He did try to start his own blog studio. Apparently didn't read the contract that Fox said. You can't do anything for a year after you leave Fox. That's what they say. This is why Riley disappeared and kept up on the Blaze until a year later. But he's still hitting that career. But Carlson tried to start up the studio with all the Fox equipment that he had left over that they didn't get. And the Fox people rushed over to his house with their van, and they said, "That's ours," and they took it, all of it. And then he started to start up again on his cell phone with a blog camera and like a GoPro or something. It looked like crap, and he put it on, and they flagged him again. They said, can't have any show for a year. And when he comes back, no one's gonna care. Next, they gotta go after Sean Hannity and Jesse Waters and Gutfield and Makirk. They gotta tear them all, just fire them all. They're not cleaning house though, they're just covering their butts, covering their ass. They're not cleaning house. They're still gonna be the fascist propaganda channel of the conservatives. Saying, "Oh, everybody else is socialist and Marxist," because they can't say communist. That would get them in trouble. Socialist and Marxist. Okay, I'll briefly explain to you. What they want is a dictator in charge, and they get their own way. That's what they want. Which is similar to Russian socialism and oligarchism, but it's actually closer to Roman fascism. That's what they want. Roman fascism. Fascism is a fasciate leader, the pillar of the leader, fasciate leader, and it's council and a senate. That's what they want. That's what the Republicans want. Democrats don't really want that. They want a democracy like kind of like Greece, crossed with England. That's not socialism though. That's a capitalist oligarchy. It's different. A Marxist society would be a working party for the Marx ideal, and that doesn't work as a thing. It's related to socialism. Socialism is related to communism. Socialism is working party working toward the oligarch. Russia before the fall. Yeah, that kind of thing. So they are different. One is for the people and one's for the oligarch. People, the oligarch. It's different. So if you say socialism, Marxism, and the other one in the same sentence, as Trump did in some of his tweets over on Truth Social, which is falling apart because Truth Social is the people that people did insider trading to create Truth Social, and now it's falling apart. So you won't have that. He doesn't want to go back to. Oh yeah, Elon Musk bought Twitter and way overpaid for it. $44 billion. It was worth $22 billion, and to bring Trump back on it, but Trump didn't want to go back on it. And he's over at Truth Social saying crazy stuff and threatening people that are going to sue him and whatever, and getting his sycophants over it. You know, so it's like, yeah, so it's like, yeah, they're falling apart. And so I was saying like yeah, the Truth Social. He was combining the three talking pointless of the of their culture war, which is all a distraction. It's all bullshit. All that stuff is bullshit. They say woke and all that. It's all bullshit. They just want to distract from Congress under the Republicans is not doing their job. And they basically decided, we're just going to keep saying this stuff and talking points from Fox and Newsmax. And yeah, well, they don't realize we're not actually doing our jobs. We're just catfighting each other in the Senate and stuff and not doing our jobs. So. So nobody notices. Well, we're talking about, let's go after the trans people and the woke people. It's like, just distracting everybody. It's a distraction. It's a distraction. All the culture was a distraction. It's a descendant of the Christmas war, the war on Christmas. It is interesting that they were talking about Ukraine before the Ukraine invasion, but there was already a little invasion going on before that, so it's not a coincidence. Hunter Biden being there doesn't mean anything. And Trump made more money in China than they're letting on too. He made 55 million or something. And his kids made 22 million or something. So he was over in China as well. He's making more money than Hunter Biden, who isn't even a politician, made over there. And in Ukraine. And they knew about Ukraine because it was a hotbed of activity. So when the war started over a year ago over there with the Russians. And then we have this other distraction. We have the Wagner group, Russia's secret police and their Wagners, the APC vehicle kind of things. Yeah, that's just a front. That's bullshit. It's another distraction. So yeah, there's my 2 cents on all that. And that concludes Talking Pointless until we come up with something else sometime. Yeah, so we're retiring the show, and that's it. I suppose maybe Mark's cards might chime in, but I kind of said some of this stuff. Yeah, so that the Levine guy is over there about the Marxism on Fox. He can also go by the wayside. He's annoying. And also, he's a disgrace to Levines everywhere. I'm sure that his kids, one of which went to Pine Hill, Levine, she's probably like, I don't talk about that guy. Anyway, so yeah, he thinks Marxism is a thing somehow. I don't know where they're getting that stuff from. Well, I do know where they're getting that stuff from. They're trying to distract you. So anyway, that's it. That's Clint Cowpoke signing off. Talking Pointless. Well, gonna mosey on now. Down, 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 down.